Welcome into the Brickyard Podcast. We're officially 4 weeks into the 2022 NFL season. It's been a crazy season so far, and there's a crazy conversation going on at my work today. There were two guys who are basically like fire and ice. One of them says something, the other will turn around. Typical Italian, like you've been around the person where they're just like, you say something, they're just like, wrong. You're like, what? Like, I wasn't even talking to you. You'll say like, I think
wrong.
Yeah, exactly. You'll just be
No.
like, and then like, wrong. No, here's why you're right. Here's why you're wrong. Here's why I'm right. So they were going on. This guy was like, receptions are so stupid when it comes to the Hall of Fame. I think he was talking about Julian Edelman. And then he's like, this guy's like, no, receptions are like the chicken before the egg. You need receptions to get yards. If you can't catch the ball, what use are your yards if you're not reliable to catch it? This conversation went on for like, I kid you not, a half hour, like showing how productive they were at my work. But they were like going back and forth like, I think yards are more important. Well, I think catches are more important. My friend's just sitting there. He wants to kill himself because both the guys are talking. He's like, you guys are both so wrong right now.
So
and you're
dumb.
both right. Like, this is the dumbest conversation ever. Like, how bored are you? So it's like, what's more important? Receptions or yards?
Well, ask me this. Would you rather have one catch for 90 yards or 6 catches for 70 yards? I would say 6 catches for 70 yards. Then the same goes, would you rather have 15 catches for 40 yards or have 3 catches for 60 yards? It's like, it's not really an argument. Like, I feel like both are equally as important.
Yeah. And it's like a different style of play because if you have a guy like Julian Edelman, sure, he has a ton of catches, but not a ton of yards. But most of his catches are on 3rd and short, and he's getting very important yards, picking up very important downs to make sure your drive can keep going. Whereas you'll have someone like Tyreek Hill who could have 4 catches for over 100 yards because you give him the ball and he'll just fly and burn you. So it stretches out the defense. It's like, the fact of the matter is there's a balance between both. Yes, receptions and yards are both important, but my thing with receptions, it's like, it's not about your receptions. It's mostly about your drop rate. Because I think the thing with receptions, like if you don't have receptions, you can't catch. Like that's not necessarily true because you could be getting thrown the ball and dropping it. So it's like, well, if you're dropping it, sure. But if you're just not getting the ball, like.
Think about Cooper Kupp's season last year. He got targeted 170 times. So for the sake of this argument, we rounded up to 200. 200 targets. If he rattles in 85 catches, on paper, 85 catches is great. But you look at it, the fact that he caught less than half of his targets, you're like, oh, this wide receiver sucks.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, what if he caught instead of, and those 200 targets, he caught 150. Oh, damn. A hell of a season. So it's like, I think you make a good point with like the catch percentage.
Yeah.
Catch rate.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's what it comes down to. It's like why like somebody like Michael Thomas, for example, gets a lot of volume when it comes to receptions. Those 3rd and shorts, those even like a 3rd and long, like get those little slants. Maybe they go 4th and 4th. You don't know. Yeah,
and the same guy who's like wrong about everything. He's like, I believe Stephon Diggs and Rashad Bateman are basically the same.
Okay,
like,
so he doesn't watch football.
Yeah.
You're telling me he doesn't watch football.